You the chef now. Keep cooking.
There's a bunch of people who fit that description, and nobody's going after those people. And these are also public figures. So is the problem what is happening, or is the problem who is the perpetrator and the fact that you don't like him personally?
There is no telling somebody, if you're not a Bible thumper, you can't tell someone, hey, what you're doing doesn't align with what you claim to be. That's very disingenuous. Facts. There is a lot of people doing that shit. And the problem we have is, as a community, we're not calling it out enough. Period. But now, if you're going to be somebody who is a public figure, it is incumbent on the community to say, hey, you have placed yourself in a position of leadership, whether we like it or not. We didn't vote you there. You placed yourself there because social media and that camera gives you power. And a lot of people take that power and then they misuse it. And it's not a power like back in the day, like Martin Luther King. You couldn't get a bunch of people following you just from turning on the camera. You had to actually live that fucking life. There were no cameras being turned on unless you were on the news. And not for a good thing either. So, you're right. There is a lot of people like that. But the fact that people aren't going after them, that doesn't negate the point that people are hypocrites. And it is utterly damaging to wrap yourself in something as pure as the teachings of Jesus and say, mind your business. The idea of taking the plank out of your own eye before you take the splinter out of somebody else's eye is not about you just minding your business. It's about you making sure you take care of your business and you set that example first before you start telling somebody else what they need to do. So at the end of the day, yeah, I can see something in somebody else's eye, but I can't see it in their eye if there's a tree in front of mine. Let me remove the tree from in front of mine, and then I have the right to sit and say, wait a minute, I see something over there. It's not about putting your head in the dirt and let people do dirt all around you, let the community go to shit because it's about mind business. Like, that's not exactly what Christianity is teaching. I think that's a misquote, if anything, about what Christianity places on a Christian to do within said community. And I don't mean Christian community either. Like, that's not what that is. So, and I'm not overly trying to say anything about Christianity, but when you say, well, Anton doesn't preach, yes, he does. When you get online, and I don't even watch your content like that, and I can vividly remember at least 4 to 5 times, you talking at length about how your culture is Christianity, how you represent Christianity, how you value the Bible. You're preaching from a rooted position. You don't have to be in a church giving a sermon to quote-unquote preach to people. If you're telling people, hey, I'm a better man because I got morals and standards. I'm a Christian man. I live by the Bible. The Bible guides me, not these niggas on TV and these pookies spray right now. The Bible guides me. Okay. Let's see if the tree is in front of you or not.
You know what I'm saying? I know that in order for me to be able to tell other people that they got to move a certain type of way or to give them the blueprint on how it is that they can be successfully married, I have to be a reflection of the thing that I advocate for. Five hoes over there. Why I care about what a saying? I always got a bad chick with me. 100% of the time. I don't go out of town unless I got a bad chick with me.
I believe that if people got more pussy, they wouldn't be so mad at the hoes, bro. Sent these so you ready for your next podcast from Kimmy. Only Kim would do something like this. I'm telling you, the women take care of me.
Hello, sir.
I'm on a live stream. I just got your gift.
You know, you gotta have you ready to go out in the wild.
Facts. I'm on a live stream just to let you know.
I'm not gonna say anything crazy.
I just like to warn people that I'm on a live stream.
I'm definitely one of those chicks that you gotta tell and you gotta let me know when you're on speakerphone.
What you doing right now?
Sitting in Phoenix, going to Seattle.
So when you coming to Detroit? That's the question.
I don't know. When should I come?
So you gonna come when I tell you to come?
Yeah. You call it, I'll show up.
Maybe it shouldn't be Detroit. Maybe we need to link up in a different city.
Yeah.
Cause it's cold here.
It's cold everywhere.
Yeah, but it's colder here.
I'm thinking
looking outside right
it's
now.
gonna have to be out of the country or Southern California. I'm leaning more towards out of the country.
All right, bet. I'm gonna figure it out with my boxing gloves on, and then I'm gonna let you know where we going.
Okay.
All right, baby.
Okay.
All right, baby.
Okay.
All right, baby.
And if you don't understand why you're telling people that this thing is right or wrong, you can guarantee at some point the whole thing's gonna give out from the floor and you'll have nothing. this whole grift that he is doing about how bad black people are, black culture, and men that don't take wives and family serious. It's like, listen, let somebody else play that role if you can. There's men out here that's on YouTube that are married, got kids, got the same content talking about family, religion, relationships, things like that. And it's very clear that their baseline is Christianity. It's the Bible, even if they don't identify as Christian. It's very clear in their actions. I've seen a man that said, listen, when I go places, I don't go places without my wife, period. Because I know what the fuck is out there. I have seen and heard men set that example. I have. And even if you want to look at people like Jared Jackson, he was a whole lying ass fuck nigga. But at least he understood that what he was saying was righteousness. He weaponized it though. Because he didn't believe in it, but he knew when you talk righteousness, it resonates with people because the truth in them recognizes the truth in what you're saying, even though you are a hypocrite behind the scenes. He was saying the right shit about his family, his wife, commitment, all that. He knew that that's the selling point. And that's similarly, if not almost the same as what's happening here. You're the leader. Even if the people under you don't get it right, you're the leader. That's why they want presidents who are married, not single men, because you're the leader. And my thing is, I don't want to overly criticize anybody because I don't personally hate Anton, and I understand why he said that. But one thing I do strongly dislike, even though I don't profess to be part of the Christian community, I hate people that inauthentically wear the cloak of Christianity for the sake of money. I have a personal problem with that. It's an attack on Christianity that I personally feel is unfair. I don't fault content creators like O'Shea for pointing that out, for saying, hey, I might be out here dotting it up with these bitches, but I'm not out here throwing the Lord into my shit. I'm not out here trying to make niggas believe that I'm holier than thou and they should follow me and I'm the leader. I've done everything right. I've heard Anton say that, and I'm like, wow, okay. So, like, these are not things that I haven't heard with my own ears. So I don't think it's a matter of like blaming him for saying his truth, but it is about recognizing that he did say that, and this is a thing not just for him, but in the culture period. There used to be, people always talk about the 50s, right? As if it's the golden age of the world. Because in the 50s, men were cheating, they were cross-dressing, there was a lot of debauchery going on in the 50s. But people had a code that they understood, we can't let our community go down because of what we do behind the scenes. You keep that shit nice and quiet. You got a family across the street, down the street, around the corner, nobody know about each other, and if they do, everybody got enough fucking sense not to publicize that shit so that everybody thinks, oh, this is just what we're supposed to do. When that started to happen, going more towards the 70s, into the 80s, you have what happened in the whole 90s for that whole period right there. With what they say, everybody letting it all hang out, coming out the closet, all that shit. This is what I mean. There's always been that sort of lifestyle out there. But people understood there's a time and place for everything. Until people decided, you know what, ain't no time and place. I don't care if it's a 4-year-old right there. We're going to do the do right in front of them. Weird ass, unnatural ass shit, whatever the case may be. This is where we at. So the last thing anybody needs is confusion at this point. And that's not a matter of Anton, but it just so happens for this example, he is in the hot seat. Not because I want him to be there, because he put himself there. And as far as like I heard that the girl that he went there with, I don't particularly like what I saw. I wouldn't be okay with you if I seen that. But to your point about Rita's response and how genuine it was, Anton made it clear she isn't on social media, nor is she on YouTube. Nor do she follow channels that remotely would talk about him like that. So when he called her to the phone, this was the next step. This was not, the video hadn't had time to germinate yet. And so he called her when probably she don't even know anything about anything. Because if she would have known anything, she understands, like, wait a minute, okay, so anything I say can be used against him. So maybe I shouldn't even be talking right now, okay? But him calling her and asking her, how do you feel about this girl? Like, what? That's your wife. I would have asked, why are we talking about my feelings about your co-host? That's like the obvious question. But clearly, she didn't say anything obvious because obviously there's something missing here. But even if we're going to sit and say, well, you know, she said, oh, that makes sense. She can say that because she wants to save face. Because this nigga just really did. He has done a lot of shit that you not saying nothing about. But I know you feel because I've seen other videos. Nobody really leading shorty. She in control. She knows what she's for. So if that is the case, when it comes to everybody, I think it's best to say her reaction to him does not say anything for or against the issue. How she feels about marriage and cheating don't have fuck all to do with whether or not it's wrong or not, and whether or not this is something that we should push to our community.